So as it stands now, if we simplified it, when a homeowner goes solar, they get a 30% tax credit for doing so.
Yeah.
And so this new proposed bill is just going to potentially change that tax credit.
Yeah.
None of this is for sure. None of this is set in stone. And so everyone's panicking because they're like, well, if it does change, then that's going to affect us. Everything is always possibly changing.
I think we're live. We're going to be going live too on Instagram. So we're live on Instagram, and I have it titled as What's Happening in Solar. So I've got Garret live on another episode, or live on your first episode of Adversity Kings with Tristan Dlabik. But how long have you been in the solar space?
Solar space, about 6 years now.
6 years in the solar space.
Yeah.
And how many solar companies have you worked with?
I've worked with 4 different solar companies at this point.
So 4 different solar companies.
Yeah, bro.
And up to the point now where you're a regional with the company that you're associated with.
Yeah.
Well, I really want to jump right into it for the
let's go.
few solar guys that just hopped on. Recently, a bill was passed.
Yeah.
Was it completely passed, or was it just presented?
So the House passed it, yes.
Okay.
But now it's going to move on to the Senate. And so that's
Okay.
where we think there's going to be a lot of pushback.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so what does this do if it does get fully passed by the Senate? How does that affect the solar world?
Dude, this is such a relevant topic. First, I want to say I'm going to be very interested to see how this podcast ages.
Yeah.
Because I think everything's about to change. So it's definitely going to affect the solar industry, but I think what's interesting is I don't think it's going to affect it as much as everybody thinks. We're all intelligent human beings, and we find ways to pivot and ways to move, and we automatically start looking for solutions. So
Okay.
I think like everyone's out there just panicking right now. I don't think they need to, if I'm being frank.
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
And I don't know much about the solar industry. I just know from being in the life insurance space,
Yeah.
every year there's some catastrophe that occurs, whether it be within the space, within the world, and the shakers, movers, the entrepreneurs, the resilient, they always find a way. They stick it out, thug it out, and find a way to make the same money, if not more money. And a lot of times, crazy things will happen, and the individuals that I would say not only stay faithful, but get ballsy and get kind of aggressive in the face of adversity. That's where you'll find like capitalization of like making way more. Like, man, how did this guy like get exponentially better or richer? And it's kind of like with, real estate, the stock market, where they say, what do they say? Buy low, sell high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like everybody's getting out, so it's getting low. So it's like if everybody's leaving, there's going to be, or if there's a large chunk of weak people, there's no other way to put it, just spineless, soft losers that are like, oh God, it's not going to work. Like, what do you mean it's not going to work? You know what I mean? I don't see how many dollars goes through solar. But I would imagine billions of dollars goes through the solar industry in general.
Yeah, it's a massive industry, and it's not going to go anywhere. Like big picture, whatever politician is in office now, or 4 years from now, or 8 years from now, it doesn't really matter. Solar's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And so I think what happens is like things change, and as humans, we're afraid of change.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's scary because it's the unknown. We don't know, so we panic, and we're always looking for ways to like get out of something. We're always looking for ways to not do the hard thing. And I think in this scenario, the hard thing is staying disciplined and continuing on with the plan, regardless of the things that are coming at you right now. And so I think the people that are able to weather this storm and stick through solar right now are actually the people that are going to be very well off in the solar space a year from now, 2 years from now. And so the only thing that's happening is the tax credit is maybe getting adjusted. That's all. That's the only really big change.
What does that mean for the client?
So as it stands now, if we simplified it, when a homeowner goes solar, they get a 30% tax credit for doing so.
Yeah.
And so this new proposed bill is just going to potentially change that tax credit.
Yeah.
None of this is for sure. None of this is set in stone. And so everyone's panicking because they're like, well, if it does change, then that's going to affect us. Everything is always possibly changing.
Yeah.
right? And so you shouldn't base your whole life on
It's
what
like
ifs.
Stoicism. You know, you'll hear Marcus Aurelius and all these guys when you study the Stoics, and they're like, so much pain and agony
Yeah.
has occurred from the individuals that create these futures that never even come to fruition. You know what I mean? Like we just live in our minds, whether it's reflecting on the past.
We
and
suffer
being,
more in our minds than in reality.
yeah, 1,000%. So, what is from your experience, and to trash talk a little?
Yeah.
What's the worst solar company?
The worst solar
Who's your
company.
competitor out there that you're like,
The one that I'm not a part of.
you guys suck? Yeah.
No,
Which one are
no,
you a part
bro.
of?
So we're a part of Solar Pros.
Okay.
Shout out, a cool shirt actually says installs matter,
Okay.
right? Everyone focuses
That's like
on,
net business.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter if you post how many kilowatts you sold today. What matters is, did the project get installed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's the fastest installer?
Dude, that's a loaded question. It depends. And I'll actually be for the first to say. So we partner with Freedom Forever, who I think is the best installation company for scale. Okay. But there's other good installation companies in certain spaces that, quite frankly, they could potentially beat us out as well. And so I don't know that there's actually a who is the best. I think it's more so you look at who's the leadership in the organizations. More so than anything else. And because there's always going to be like the question, who's the best installation company, or who has the best red line, as we say in solar. And so if you base your decisions in solar off of those two questions, you're always going to be chasing the current best installation company, or the current cheapest installation company.
Yeah. So, you know, I see so many people, especially just from me being in the sales world, so even, I guess more so specifically the insurance, it's either insurance or solar for the people that I follow. Is solar able to be sold virtually, or is it just door to door?
Yeah, no, you can do it virtually. I've done it virtually.
Yeah.
It's not anything crazy. I think.
Is there any places off limits, or can you sell like all over the world? Like you could sell someone in North Korea?
You could. My specific company, no.
Yeah.
But there are companies there. Like solar's universal at this point.
Yeah.
You can get it anywhere. And so short answer to your question is yes, you can do it anywhere. Personally, in the U.S., like we're in 38 states.
Yeah.
And so, but I don't even want this to be like super specific about us, because we're just like a little tiny thing. Like in terms of the whole industry, I think like if I was saying anything now, if I wanted anybody to get value out of this, it'd be like don't be the person in the industry that's panicking. Don't be the person that's wavering, because like everybody else around you is already doing that.
What'd you do before solar?
So I've been in the door-to-door space. It's my 16th year.
Yeah.
Actually. So before solar, we were just knocking on people's doors, selling home security systems.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, like
Right.
the Ring?
Yeah. Well, even before the Ring, actually.
Yeah,
So
the
long
cameras.
before the Ring doorbells came out.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to me now. Maybe it's just perspective or something, but this is why, like, whatever's happening in solar right now, I'm just so unfazed by it, because we used to knock on people's doors, self-gen everything, as they say, to make like $350 per sale, right? And now some like 20-year-old kid can knock on somebody's door,
Make like
sell a solar
20 grand.
system. Yeah, $20,000, right?
Yeah.
Or $5,000, $10,000.
Yeah, I mean,
It's stupid
ultimately,
money.
yeah, like it's crazy. It's literally crazy.
Yeah.
I remember I spent my first 2 years in
So-
life insurance, knocking doors.
Yeah, and you have to grind, dude. Like I knocked doors for years and years and years and years, and then more years after that. And so,
What's the biggest thing you take away from knocking doors? Like, don't give me the cliche salesman answer. Like, what's that big, deep answer? Like, if you were super high and you, like, the universe spoke to you, it's like, this is what you learn from knocking doors.
so what I learned from knocking doors is how fucking resilient I can be.
Yeah.
I think I learned to be resilient through knocking doors. This is actually one of my favorite topics too, because it's probably one of the hardest things I think anybody can do.
Yeah.
And like one thing that I'm trying to do this year is be way more authentic, like way more real. And dude, it's stupid fucking hard. I know there's a lot of dudes out there, and I'm not going to be one of them. A lot of dudes that are like, knocking doors is the best thing ever. I don't think so. If I'm being frank, I don't think anybody actually wakes up and is like, hey, I cannot wait to go knock on people's doors. I think we will say that to hype ourselves up. I've said it 1,000 times, but I don't think I've ever truly enjoyed it, right? I've cried so many times. Like I've had breakdowns in my car, just full on like bawling my eyes out. I was like, I can't fucking do this. Like I'm done. I remember in home security once, I was knocking doors, selling alarm systems to people, and dude, just getting obliterated, just full on destroyed. Homeowners yelling at you, the little housewife coming out and just like beating you up. And it was like raining. It was dark out. It was like 8:30 at night. Jump back in my car. I call my boss. I was like, I'm done. I'm out. There's nothing you can say that's gonna get me to continue doing this. Like, fuck this. I can't. I've done it for like 5 years at this point. And I remember him calming me down and saying, that's all right. Like, you don't have to. You don't have to. I just want you, if you're gonna quit, that's fine. I just want you to know that you can do it. You're just choosing not to. And as he calmed me down and he talked me through it, the piece of value that came out.
I'm gonna write that down real quick. I'm not being disrespectful.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna send it to my sales team actually right now.
Good. The piece of value that came out of this for me was in that moment that I truly recognized that emotions are going to go up and they're going to go down. And that's why it's so important to have good leadership around you. Like they'll be able to talk you through this stuff. And it's important for that leadership to be stable in those moments when you're not as a younger, newer salesperson.
What would you say, and I want to kind of, because I think we're getting to it, has been the hardest thing you've had to face in your life?
Hardest thing I've had to face in my life. Man, this could go a really interesting way right now, to be frank.
It doesn't have to be sales primed either. Like, it could just be whatever.
So I have an interesting kind of spin on this question because I've been asked it before.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I feel like I'm still waiting for the actual answer to that question. I'll tell you why. Because when you do anything difficult in life, right, I think you just get used to getting hit. Well, you fight, right? Like you work out, like you're a pretty tough human being in general, so you can roll with the punches.
Yeah.
Right? And so
depending on who I'm fighting.
Okay. Well, I think if you're a human being that's gone through that's done anything difficult in life, the business you're in, it's pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Right? Like it has its ups and it has its downs, like big downs too. The punches, the hard things that come at you are not that difficult. So I'll give you an example to kind of explain what I mean here. So I have a 2-year-old, and when he was born, I remember a lot of people saying, like, this is going to change your life. This is going to be one of the most difficult things you've ever done. Like, you're not going to get any sleep. He's going to cry all the time. And like, you might even question, like, if you should have had a kid or not, like saying these crazy things. And I remember thinking, like, gosh, like, what am I getting myself into? Right. And then he was born, and then I didn't sleep like 8 hours every night. That's for sure. But I remember for the next 6 months thinking, like, when does the hard part start? When does this get difficult? And that's when it actually really clicked for me that I think a lot of the people that say, like, things are going to be difficult are the people that haven't done anything difficult in their lives yet, right?
Yeah.
And so, do you have kids yet?
No.
Okay.
Dogs.
Dogs. All right. What kind of dogs?
English and French.
Cool. I love some of my favorites.
Yeah.
Dude, if you ever do decide to have kids, like, what I would say, I know this is kind of off topic, but I think it might be a lot easier than you think, to be frank.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not that difficult to get 4 or 5 hours of sleep because you've probably been doing that your whole life up until this point.
Yeah.
Right? It's not that difficult to deal with a screaming baby because you've been dealing with things way worse than that.
Yeah.
And so I
And
guess
you could just walk away.
yeah, just leave them there for like 4 or 5 hours. Like you can stay in this room by yourself. I'll just lock the door.
Chill with mom.
So answering your question, bro, I know that wasn't like super direct, but I think I've done a lot of the hardest things already, which is just overcome a lot of adversity.
Yeah, but I want to know, like, what's that scar? What's that adversity? What's that thing that, you know, when whether it was Garret was growing up, went to high school, college, something, was there a pivotal point in your life? For me, I'm a big believer with guys like us. I've met a few people that tell me I've had a perfect life. Nothing's happened to me. Everything's great. Family's great. Nothing ever happened. Those people freak me out the most because like I get this, like, it's almost like they're like not projecting, but like there's like perpetuation of like something's like this demon inside of them. And it's like, yeah, you think you haven't gone through something, but the lack of adversity that you have faced has like created this monster inside of you that just wants to like eat people or something.
Okay, well, fuck it. On that note, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's dive into it. So I think this isn't even a direction I imagined we would go on this podcast. So this is
Adversity
very,
things.
this is very not rehearsed in any way, bro.
Yeah.
Well, probably one of the hardest things I would say, and like not a lot of people know this, but I basically grew up in a cult.
Are you from the Midwest?
So Colorado.
So Mormon?
Not Mormon. You would confuse us for it. A
Jehovah's Witness.
Christian was the title.
Yeah.
But everyone confused us for Mormon.
Okay.
Yeah, or for Jehovah's Witness, or even more so Amish.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's kind of the lifestyle that we lived.
Yeah.
And so growing up as a child in that sort of setting, like that definitely changes you for a lot of years.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Right. So I was homeschooled my whole entire life. And what's interesting about that is naturally, like, I'm a very social person.
Yeah.
Like, I love people. I love talking to people.
Yeah.
I love communicating, getting to know people, getting close to people. I think I crave that human interaction. But when you grow up in a lifestyle like that, through your childhood, through your teen years, and all of that human interaction is taken away from you, that stings massively on an emotional level. Because as a child, like, something's weird about this, something is
1,000%.
off. Yeah. So I don't know where we go with this topic, but that's one of the hardest things I think I've personally overcome, because then later on as an adult, you actually look back at your childhood and you have to start like undoing things.
Yeah.
Things that you learned, things that are just not right, and weird fucked up beliefs that either parents had or a lot of the other people around you.
Reminds me of the episode of South Park my girl showed me. Mm-hmm. Have you seen South Park?
Yeah.
Where they're like Mormons like moving down the road and like the kids are psychotic. And dude, I'm always super intrigued, and I always wonder, and I'm like, man, those kids, if they do break out of that cult and they get exposure to the diversity, everything's a cult in itself. Yeah. Like the opposite is a cult. Like the public schooling, like it's, but the thing is there's so much diversity in it, and there's so much like opportunity for you to kind of create your own character.
Yes.
That at least that freedom isn't as painful as a kid growing up and wondering, wow, my whole childhood was taken from me in a sense. Yeah. Opposed to like me growing up in like all the public schools where it's like, everything I've gotten to this point is, essentially on me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like I can look at that and kind of, I also get intrigued, almost in the same sense of like where the people that I've met, if they're like, I've never gone through anything. It's like, it's another thing. And that's where I talk about the internalized demon, I think is even worse than the external adversity. Oh, I broke my leg, or I got in a fight and got beat up. Dude, there is a level of pain that happens internally with that mental, it's almost like debilitating of especially in your childish years. That's why I'm always curious in regard to like what happened when I'm like kind of doing my relationship, personality test. I always want to know, like, how'd you grow up? Yeah. Because it kind of gives me an idea of like what's going to upset this person. What's going to, especially with being a sales leader, like how can I reward them? I should probably not yell at this person. They came from an abusive background. Like they're going to need more love and you know, hands-on touch and all of that.
Yeah.
So give me 2 seconds to set this little sales call up. Or like, how big's your team, bro?
So at this point, it's funny, we actually just looked. So we have 475 sales reps on board and underneath us.
Yeah.
Now, also being frank, if you're anybody in the sales game, you understand they're not always all active.
Oh,
either,
dude, I always tell people
right?
it's about 30%.
Yeah.
At least for insurance. Like if I got a 100-person team, 30 are going to work this week.
We probably have 125 that are truly active and actually crushing, actually doing well.
Yeah.
It's no different than the 80-20 rule, right? 20% of the people are doing 80% of the volume.
I love that you brought that up. The Pareto principle. It's one of my favorite.
Yep.
Literally one of my favorite. Where's your where you live out in Colorado? My boy's from Grand Junction.
Grand Junction, that's a nice place. Yeah, that's probably like 6 hours away from here. So I live in Colorado Springs, which is an hour south of Denver.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been to Colorado.
Yeah, it's a nice place. You should come out. Actually, dude, whenever you want to come out, I have a nice place there. You're welcome to have like a whole like guest suite.
You're gonna put me in the Cultville?
Yeah. No, dude, you're definitely welcome whenever. But it's a good place. I think a lot of people are going to continue to flock to Colorado just because it's not like oversaturated there yet.
Yeah, that's sick. So I kind of told them, I was like, you're gonna be able to hear one of the top solar guys.
Nice.
So they're gonna get 10 minutes of you.
You know what's interesting? Like the top solar guy thing. I don't know. There's top solar guys.
Everyone's
everywhere.
a top everything wherever they're at.
Yeah.
I like to give exposure because people hear my voice 24/7. People hear my voice 24/7.
Yeah.
And it almost dies out. We could say the same exact things, and we probably do say the same exact things. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you've experienced this with talking to your sales force.
Yeah.
It's like goes in one ear out the other, 98% of the time. And then you bring somebody else in, some random Joe that's crushing it in another industry and says, hey, you should focus on follow-ups and referrals. Hey, you should work a little earlier and work a little later. Hey, you can do it. You're just choosing not to. And they're like, I've never heard this before. It's like, yes, you have. Maybe the 9,000th time that I've told you. So I think that's all incredible.
Yeah, dude. So I think being a sales leader is such an interesting position to be in. Also, like the whole title thing, like everybody kind of needs to let go of that to some degree.
It's part of our mantra with our new company. So launching my own insurance company, I wanted to get rid of titles, trips, trophies.
Yeah.
I think salespeople use those as manipulative tools to not only one, manipulate, but I think also to undercompensate.
Yep.
Like I'd rather just be super transparent and just pay you more. Like I'm not going to spend money on a trophy or a trip that I'd prefer the cash. I think about all the trophies, all the president clubs and like the golden doors and shit like that we've acquired and won. And it's like, man, I wish they would have just given me cash.
That's because you're wise though at this point.
I wasn't wise.
Right. Not everyone's to that level yet.
Yeah.
A lot of people still like the shoes.
Yeah.
Right.
Getting the shoes, bro. I remember getting my first pair of shoes and thinking like, oh my God, my life's changed. This guy loves and cares about me. And I'm like, now I look back and I'm like, dude, someone bought me a $100 pair of Nikes and I went out and did $100,000 in sales in a month or, even for the year. And it's like, dude, this guy, let's say they take a 20, 30 point average, which is like industry average. They made 20, 30,000 and got you a $100 pair of Nikes and you're going nuts. Yeah. I love this one saying that I hear in the brokerage space is no free overrides. And so in sales, you're getting an override. People know when they come in, hey, I'm getting an override, but I want to earn it. You know what I mean? If you don't feel like it's like taxes, I don't want to pay taxes unless I have control. I'd love to pay taxes. I want to help the homeless get, health care and get access to benefits. I grew up on food stamps.
Yeah.
I want to help that kid where his parents went to jail. Like I want to help me, but like I don't want it to be going to some Brazilian, transgender team or something. You know what I mean? The report that came out, it's like, bro, no. So same deal with the overrides. Like there's a lot of salespeople out there when guys hit me up like, what's your unique value proposition with your sales company? I was like, bro, we do life insurance. We don't have a unique value proposition. You know what it is? Our unique value proposition is honesty. That's you're gonna get honesty with us. And when we make mistakes, and don't mistake honesty with perfection either. We are super imperfect. We don't have shit figured out except for we can sell insurance, we can recruit people to sell insurance, and we're gonna tell you if we make a mistake, and we're gonna be honest about overrides and cash. Here's what we can give out. And if you don't like that, go work with someone else.
Absolutely.
Go get the titles, trips, and trophies.
So on that subject, dude. So the titles, it's so funny to me because I have people hit me up. They're like, "Hey, like I'm the VP of this. I'm the president of that. I'm the regional here, the divisional there.
I'm the chief glizzy officer. Stay there, dog. Be the glizzy hamster.
Yeah, nobody really fucking cares anymore either. Like it really doesn't matter. It's
bro.
Like I was a VP at my last company.
Yeah.
I'm a regional at this company. The last
It's
company
funny.
we were tiny little companies,
Yeah.
so it didn't even matter.
Bro, it's funny because when I say regional, I can see in your body language, you're like, it's almost like you're on the verge of like cringing, where it's like, it makes sense on why we align so well. It's like, you don't care about titles.
Yeah.
Titles never paid anybody's bills.
Bro, I think the biggest flex in this industry, like if you want to flex, it's actually being able to prove how many people you've helped, not what your title is.
Yeah.
Right? It's like good leaders don't show other people their wins. Their own. Like I'm not going to show people my personal wins. As a good leader, I'm going to show somebody else their potential and how they can win.
You know where my mind's going right now? Not to get off topic.
Yeah.
Who are you closest with in your life? Is it your wife?
Yeah, I would say so. Honestly, I would say multiple people.
Yeah, well, what about outside of your wife? Who's closest to you?
I have a lot of really good friends, like a lot.
Yeah, who's the first call, though?
Matt Fair.
Yeah, why?
It's him and I have been friends since we were like 18 years old. He grew up somewhat similar to the way that I did.
Yeah, so you guys can relate.
Yeah, it's the simple conversation of, you jump on a podcast just like this, and they're like, who's your ride or die? Like, who's that 3 a.m. friend? He's that 3 a.m. friend.
What's he do?
Yeah, he's an entrepreneur just like me. So him and I are actually partnered in a different company.
I wanted to talk on it. Is it going to be the trading?
Yeah. Which we could talk about that. But he's well versed. He's had a car company. He works with a data company as well right now. So his company, his and his dad's, and then him and I are partnered as well.
Are you more passionate about the trading than the solar? If money didn't matter, which one are you doing? You got to pick one.
Yeah, I would say yes. Yes, I am. I can tell you why too. So after 16 years in this door-to-door space, what I've recognized is there's like, because I'm 36 now, and there are so many young dudes, 22 years old, that are kind of just being super dumb with their money right now, and they're not going to recognize how important it is to be smart with their money.
Why is everybody in sales, and I did it, go out and get the car and the watch and just flex? Hey, I got a car and a watch.
Yeah.
I got the penthouse. I'm a billionaire. Come work with me. I'm hiring. I'm selling courses.
Dude, it's so funny you say that too, because like I almost make it a point to not wear watches or anything at this point. Like I wear this $50 band.
Yeah.
50
That's an expensive band.
Yeah, 50 cent. It says serve and elevate.
Okay.
Right? It's a good reminder.
Is it 50 cents or $50?
50 cents.
Okay. I was going to say.
No, it's rubber.
I was going to
It's
judge you
rubber.
if it was $50. I mean, so that's a little nuts.
Yeah. Why does everybody in the sales space what?
Yeah. Why are they? Listen, I came in, made my first $500,000 at 20 years old.
Okay.
Blew all the money. Lost millions from a bad partnership. But I think to myself in regard to, I was over the last 4 years, I've been building up my digital real estate empire, which is the podcast, my brand, and everything I'll be able to. So just now, it's starting to monetize over the last year. We've made close to probably a third of what I put in. I feel like I've put in close to $1 million into the podcast and just ultimately the brand. Yeah. And just it took 3.5 years of making no money off of it to now starting to make money off of it and grow. But I'm looking at the guys that it's like, I'll go get the Corvette, I'll go get the Huracan, I'm gonna go get the car, I'm gonna go get the watch. And they have no investments. They're just got a sales team, an override, or they're making sales and they have no ownership in the company whatsoever. Yep. What are your thoughts, bro?
Stop. Like literally just stop. But that's hard. Like as a 22-year-old.
Ego.
Yeah, as a 22-year-old, like you're like, I have so much life ahead of me. And you do.
Yeah.
You do. But the thing is like the energy that you have at 22 is different than the energy you have at 36 for grinding, for knocking that amount of doors. Yeah. And you know what? At the end of the day, I think it's simple. Like you don't have to listen to me. Like, do whatever you want. Like, if you think you're smarter, like, go for it. I'm here just to have your back more than anything else, because I've already done this. And so ultimately, you're going to do what you want to do. you have to make that call. But for like the young dudes or the young girls that are in the solar space, in the sales space, and you want to be wise, then just listen to the people like myself or Tristan over here that have already done this. Like just take like a little bit of advice, I promise you, and we won't get anything out of this, but I promise you, like 10 years from now, you'll think back to that time that Tristan took like 5 minutes out of his life to just care about you. Like take that to heart. Like this is a privilege. Not everybody gets this.
It's fire.
Yeah.
It's fire, bro. As we wrap up, I always like to ask everybody, do you have a favorite movie?
I do have a favorite movie. And it has no like real significance.
Doesn't
it's
have to.
just it's The Italian Job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know why. It's just like because I saw it when I was young.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, these guys are so cool.
Yeah.
Right? I just wanted to be like them.
Yeah.
I was like, they're living like the craziest life.
Let's
like
go.
they're the bad guys, but they're so cool. How do I be like them?
That's sick. Super sick.
Yeah.
Well, bro, quick 30-minute pod.
Facts.
This was incredible.
Yeah.
Loved having you on. Your story was
Thank you.
great. And I feel like we hit a lot of like sensitive but hardcore topics in the midst of 30 minutes, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So-
raw. It's real. That's the goal for this year, bro.
Authenticity.
Yeah,
There ain't
I
no other way to
appreciate
live.
you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Guys, this is Garret. Where can people find you if they want to work with you, if they want to utilize any of your services, your trading company or anything?
Trading company, which we'll I guess we can talk about next time.
Yeah.
Trading company is called Cypher, and that company's purely built just for people in the sales space, bro. So we'll get into that. It's CYPHER. If they want to find me, Instagram's probably the best way, to be honest. At Hey, I'm Garret.
Fire.
Find me through Tristan.
Hey, I'm Garret. You guys go check out my following. You'll find Garret there. And pray you guys have a blessed day. Let's go. Peace.